Now, this year is the Golden Jubilee of one of the world's most famous and influential people. 50 years ago, she left Moonee Ponds in her native Australia and commenced a journey which transformed a simple housewife into a global superstar. Ladies and gentlemen, Dame Edna Everage. How are we,
Has
Dame Edna?
it been an exciting show tonight?
It has been very exciting, full of stuff to interest you.
And yet, funnily enough, exciting though it has been, I felt a sense of gratitude from the audience when I came on.
Well, it's always the same.
I'm so excited to meet you.
Are you? I wish I could say the same. Please, no, I didn't mean that to sound horrible, but I've never heard of you. You inspire strong reactions, as I do.
I quite like that.
What? It's beautiful. Michael, thank you for bringing two great legends together tonight. Oh, 2.5. Sorry. No, please. I should say, aren't we being awful? I should say 2 3/4, shouldn't I? But I also saw you in Greece in the 60s. Did anyone know that he was in Greece on the West End stage? Did he say that in his interview?
It was mentioned, yes.
Was it? Yes, but people might have missed it. They might have been going to make a cup of tea or something of the kind. But I saw you, and when I saw you in Greece playing the title role, I think it was, part of Greece, I said to myself, that man is going to be famous one day. He's going to make it to the top. He's going to be on a talk show with me, I said to myself. You're going to be that big, and you are, my darling, and I like the way you took a stand against this silly old chauvinistic, fundamentally, I think, sex symbol thing. Because we are actors, aren't we? We are people. We have our own integrity, and you're not a sex symbol to me, darling. In fact, you actually are a bit of a turn-off. I mean that in a very nice way, Mr. I do, because you bring out the maternal instinct in me. You know, when I see you in some of those films, you're either wearing a military uniform or in your little birthday suit. I see your little bits jiggling around.
Not so little.
Not so little. Oh, your little front body. You know what? You know, when I see that, you know what my fingers are doing, Miss Bacall? They're reaching for the talcum powder. Because I want to give them a little dusting. I want to put a little absorbent nappy between those legs of yours. Because I'm a very maternal person, and I feel that towards you.
You keep looking so wonderful. Have you had a facelift?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
I haven't
you
ever
look...
bothered. I always think you can pick it. You see, I can see it in you, but I mean, you haven't... I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable in my own skin. I am. And you're comfortable in someone else.
Let me ask you about your appearance, because I know when you first burst on the scene, I mean, you weren't quite as flamboyant as this.
I was dowdy. When I started off in my career, viewers,
Well,
I was a frump.
Well, Dame Edna, there we have an early picture of you just behind you there. Look, that was a totally different look. You wouldn't know it was the same woman.
I'd improved. There, before that, I mean, there are no existing photographs. Luckily, I've had them destroyed.
Quite right.
But that's me, because I was born with hair in this lovely shade, and I'm the only woman on the planet with a purple bikini line. I was shy. I was embarrassed, Jonathan.
I can imagine.
Because people called me Mauve Mop at school.
Oh.
And so I dyed my hair that colour. To avoid comment. I'd love you to go and see my husband, Norm, when you're out there.
Oh, how is he?
Oh, very far from well. I've only got one husband, but he's like 7, I can tell you that, Miss Swanson. He's got this terrible... At the moment, it's quiescent, but he's got what's called a rumbling prostate. He's always had this problem with his little, you know, the gland. Well, goodness knows where it is. Poor Gloria's looking at me askance. I'm not permissive, darling. But it's rumbling. That means that anything can happen. And so, we have been advised by one of the greatest Harley Street prostatologists. We've been advised that a transplant is in order. And we're just waiting for a donor, Mike. You might step off the plane at just the right moment, who knows? But I shouldn't say this. I mean, this is not a thing I refer to, and I know my husband is keeps a very low profile with regard to his illness. As a matter of fact, he never mentions his prostate, and when he does, he only mentions it in passing. As a matter of fact, that's the only time he ever feels it.
Of course, you wrote, of course, one of your many cultural achievements, you wrote the well-known international bestseller called...
What's the matter with you?
Living with a prostate problem, didn't you? Which translates into many languages.
Because the doctors have told me, the specialists have told me to put my husband's illness completely out of my mind. You know, I've more or less succeeded. I have. But he's not in America. We couldn't get his support system onto the plane. We couldn't. I should tell you this. My husband has a rumbling prostate, it's called. It's a rumbling prostate. The neighbours often complain, but what can you do? There's no volume control on it, Joan. Well, my husband's had a transplant, a prostate transplant.
Really? Where did he translate it from?
Well, some donor, some unknown donor. But
was it successful?
Well, we don't know, Joan. It's awful to be talking about this. Isn't on TV, but we don't know whether it's... The doctors have said that there is some possibility that my husband's organ could be rejected. But he ought to be used to that by now. As you know, my husband is a very famous prostate sufferer. As a matter of fact... Yes, you may not know that, Steph, but I've had my husband's prostate hanging over my head for years. And I'm not going... Please. Joan, what a tasteless audience you've got here.
And I whisked him off to Mexico.
What a lovely, romantic idea.
Have you ever tried that?
I'd love to try it. Unfortunately, my husband is an invalid and an expensive one, too.
Couldn't you kidnap him?
Well, it's difficult getting his iron prostate through the metal. We shouldn't laugh, should we? But we have to laugh. I only wish he could laugh at his own misfortunes like we can. You see, I help the prostate in many ways. I started an organisation called the Friends of the Prostate, and an organisation called Prostanon, which is for relations and friends of prostate sufferers. And I founded the Prostate Olympics. And that's not just for prostate sufferers, but for people who are interested, or people with plumbing problems. And, it was Christmas time, Christmas Day. Cooked a beautiful turkey. I've been up to my armpit in that turkey, rather like my manager was into my bank account. Yeah. And nothing worse, by the way, than stuffing a turkey when the front doorbell rings, the carol singers are there. Have to explain it, you know. Yeah. Worries small children, they get very upset by the sight of a woman stuffing. I generally put up a screen. But I went to the hospital to see Norm, and of course he was not on solids.
No.
He was barely on liquids.
Yes.
And he said, oh, what's Christmas? Did you have a lovely Christmas dinner? He said, or his printout said it. And I let him sniff my fingers. I did. But I never thought I'd catch on in America, and yet it's happened in a wonderful, wonderful way. In case you didn't know it, viewers, I am a very big star with our cousins across the Atlantic. And I didn't seek it. I was in the cemetery buffing up my husband's obelisk. Because there's very often, you know, he used to like me doing that when he was still alive. It's not an it's a needle. It's huge, my husband's monument. It's known as Norm's Needle, as a matter of fact. I mean, it's a meeting place. People say, I'll see you under Norm's Needle. More than I ever said when he was alive. And a voice came to me. There's a clap of thunder, Lenny, and you too, Michael. A clap of thunder. And I heard my late husband's voice. And he said, Edna, go to the States. They will adore you. They've come around. They've come around. And one day they'll come around to you, Lenny. But I
Oh.
mean...
You're looking wonderful. You're ageless.
Well, I'm trying to be ageless. I've had a little work done, but...
Have you?
Not quite as much as some of us here. No.
Don't look at me when you say that. Keep your eyes that way.
No, but the thing is, you are still recognisable. That's what I like. You know, some people, you know this as well as I do, they go in to see these cosmetic surgeons, and they forget, before the anaesthetic takes over, they forget to say, I want people to know who I am when I come out. You know, they go in like a Mercedes, and they come out like the backside of a Ford Mondeo. They do.
So, but you've resisted the temptation so far.
Very much so. I have just a little tightening here and there.
Of course.
Nowhere you can see.
The important part.
It's not unusual.
You babysat?
I babysat this royal baby. Can you see the picture?
How exciting.
Miss Bacall
Yes,
was.
I can.
And that again brought
No, I
up
can't
my
see it.
maternal instincts, Richard. In fact, I lactated as soon as I held this little baby in my hand. I ruined a Giorgio Armani blouse. And as a matter of fact, looking at you now, and the little maternal instincts are surging, I'm glad I'm wearing my nursing pads.
Is it true that you do frantic Zumba to keep your figure?
I do. I like a bit of Zumba.
Bit of
it's
Zumba.
fun, isn't it? Don't you?
Oh, I
love
like
it?
a bit of Zumba, yeah.
You do.
A good bra we need, though, don't we, Dame Edna?
Oh, what?
We need a good bra.
I don't. I'm flat-chested. And when I was a young girl, well, a sort of an adolescent, when I was first starting to grow hair I could sit on, You laugh in riddles, you do.
You're all married. What are the sacrifices that it's cost to be a top host?
Only one, and it's just a little sacrifice.
Yes.
My family. I'd sacrifice them completely. And you know, it doesn't matter to me because they've turned out delinquents. My daughter is a famous shoplifter. My son is deeply disturbed. But I'm very, very happy. And I wouldn't wish it any other way, Joan.
I thank all...
What about the question of the families, too, of course? I mean, you've had a bit of trouble with your children, I'm doing it in the past. Can you bring me up to date? Because it's been a while since we talked about them.
Don't pussyfoot around, Michael Parkinson. We've known each other too long. I have a dysfunctional family. There's no two.
Drugs?
Nightmare. I don't know what they get up to. Substances of some kind. My daughter, Valmay, who was a lovely child. Judi, you met her when she was just a little one. I brought her round to see you. Bless her. She is into shoplifting in a major way. Waitrose, I said, look...
Do it at Harrods.
I said you're bringing shame on the family. Can't it be Harrods or somewhere like that? And she's been frisked by the same heavily built security officer so many times. And now they're living together, isn't that awful? This woman's name is Frankie Clitheroe. And in 1 minute, Michael, she's wanding my daughter in a back room at Waitrose, wanding her, frisking her, patting her down. And the next minute, they're shopping together in IKEA. Can you imagine that? So I don't know. I can't move fast enough for the young ones, Jude.
What about Kenny?
Kenny?
Kenny, yes.
Oh, he designed this, isn't he? He's so talented, Kenny. He's a practicing homeopath, as a matter of fact. Sure, that's what he said he was. Darling, let's face it, I had 2 Valiums and a big mug of Ovaltine, and I was in bed a bit woozy, and Kenny came home very late after a Stephen Sondheim tribute. And little Steve's watching too, bless him. And he said, I'm a homeopath, Mum, and so is my roommate. He's a lovely boy. My son's roommate you would adore. He'd love all those show business stories, Judi.
What's his name?
His name is Clifford Smale.
Oh.
And, he's American. He's from the Boston area, quite religious. He was an altar boy, as a matter of fact. He toyed with the priesthood.
Hey, let me ask you about your children, though, before we...
I thought the interview was over.
No, it's not over. Because I know Kenny. Does Kenny still design your fabulous outfits, your son, Kenny?
He does. Kenny, my son. He's a wonderful boy. He's the Vivian Westwood of Australia. He's a star. He designed this lovely frock and many other things of mine. My other children have been a bit of a disappointment, Jonathan. And that's not amusing, I'm afraid.
Well, there's your daughter, is it Valmay?
Valmay. Shoplifting was her downfall. She was born with the gift of the grab. And she was always looking for the 5-finger discount. You know, when I started becoming successful, as you will find when you... I learned something. Put your family last. Don't let them.
Yeah.
Don't let them inhibit you.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's better for us to neglect them. And I've always put my career first. Well, not that I call it a career, really. I don't call this a show. And you, I don't want to be an icon. Have you ever been to Greece?
Yes.
Have you ever been to Greece and seen an icon? Horrible. I've got cracks all over their face. Oh, I'm sorry, Michael. Now, where are you living now, Martin?
In Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, but you've just had a bit of a stint in the Emerald Isle, haven't you?
Yes, I did. I attended 1 semester at the National University of Ireland at Galway.
How beautiful. What were you studying, Martin Sheen?
I was doing computers, English, philosophy, earth and ocean science.
Oh, English and... Oh, what a stupid noise. the side down. Don't let the side down. It's amazing. You know, Martin, no. It's amazing how silly people get in the presence of higher learning, Martin.
I mean,
Look at me, am I overdressed? I think I am. I wanted to know, Judi and Sharon, what funeral have you just been? But I have been on the boards. Isn't this amazing, girls? If you ever have a career, just look towards me. Why this black all the time? They
very
work,
fashionable.
look as though they work for a solicitor, don't they? You too, it's like a funeral round here, except for that. That's lovely. Well, incidentally, aren't you viewers, when I was last on this show, Lenny, or Leonard, if I may call you that?
Lenworth, actually, Lenworth.
Lenworth. Yeah. Goodness. Probably no one knows that. You've a little exclusive for the Parkinson show.
The doctor who delivered me was called Dr. Lenworth, and my mum thought that was a suitable... I shall name this child Lenworth.
Is he still alive, Dr. Lenworth?
I think the shock killed him. Why couldn't you have been called Steve?
Lenworth.
Or Kunta Kinte. But sorry, carry on, keep on.
Yes, we are digressing.
Fine job. We do digress, please.
What was that last name you said?
It's an African name, Kunta Kinte.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't abbreviate it, Leonard. However, well, please.
I just wondered on that. The sort of the female sexuality thing. I mean,
onto that.
when a person reaches a certain age, and you are 60, is it?
I'm approaching 60.
Approaching 60.
But I'm approaching 60 from the wrong direction. Well, sexuality is... It's never been an important thing in my life, no. Sharon.
Why?
You're a raunchy little woman, and... You are too, Judi, I know. But I have drives, I have juices. You know, my gynecologist looked up this morning and he said to me...
He said what?
He said I was still capable of breastfeeding. I like helping people. I give... You know, Billie Jean, my gynecologist says he looked up this morning and he said, you know, you give too much. And I think I do. I give too much.
People say that you and Barry are actually the same person.
What kind of people would say that?
Well, Matt told me.
My gynecologist wouldn't say it. Oh, no. And in matter of fact, he is here. I'm not going to bring him onto the set, but he was in my dressing room, and I just had a quick exploratory. Yeah. I like always to have an exploratory before I go on television. Just a checkup. And he gave me the thumbs up. He did.
Did he? Well, listen, dear Edna, I mean, I'm looking here at all of your sparkles and all of this stuff, and I'm entering this world at the moment because I'm doing Strictly.
This is Avatar.
Would you...
Avatar. So if there are any women watching who want to give a gift to their gynecologist, this is what I suggest. I had his speculum. His speculum re-silvered. I don't think those boys will know what I mean by a speculum, but it is something, a tool.
They're like salad tongs.
Well, I took it along to Tiffany and they re-silvered it. They dipped it in silver. And I think it's probably the nicest thing it's ever been dipped in. Do you know that? I think it could be.
Oh, marvellous. Wow. It's quite interesting because this is it's a new stage in your life. You've sort of turned your back on celebrity culture, it seems.
Look at celebrities. Who are they? Tomorrow's non-entities, really. I've never been a celebrity. I'm a legend, an icon, if you will. But not a celebrity. I feel it's almost an insult to be called a celebrity.
It wasn't intended.
I've never heard you called a celebrity.
Because Barry Humphries, your old manager, has also written a book. It's an unauthorised biography.
With mine.
Yeah.
I don't give it any promotion at all.
Really?
It's clashing with my book.
Not happy about this book?
Well, it's this book.
It doesn't show you in a good light. I will hold it up, Edna, but it doesn't show you in a good light.
This is written by Barry Humphries, who was a totally obscure, unknown and very talentless actor in Australia until he met me. And I have been the making of him, and he's making it a little money, not much.
He starts the book with the words, "I wish I'd never met Edna Everage."
That is the tone of this horrible book.
He also, I mean, Barry Humphries says in his book about you that you were a confidant
to... keep publicising
I'm
that
so sorry. He says that you were a confidant to many popes. Did you manage to cross diaries with the Pope on his visit here?
Unfortunately. I only have restaurant German. But, you see, your audience is smarter than you think. But he
You know your way around a schnitzel, yeah?
Speaking of which, I didn't realise that your dear mother is still alive.
Yes, my mother is wonderful. Yes. I have a wonderful mother. She's in a maximum security twilight home. And my mother is coming in. She's making a lot of money now, Michael.
Is she?
You know, we're making a range of beauty aids thanks to her. When you were little and you fell over, did your mother ever lick a hanky and rub your knee?
Yes.
Did she? Isn't it extraordinary? Yours too?
Yes.
There is something in Mother's spit, Tom.
Yes.
There is an enzyme in Mother's saliva. It's amazing.
This is true.
And we have actually harnessed my mother at the moment because she is drooling in commercially viable quantities. My mother is yielding. She is yielding between 7 and 8 barrels a day. And we're making a beauty range called Mother's Spit Products. There's a bath gel, there's a night cream, moisturisers of all kinds. Isn't it lovely? Moisture is important. For the Christmas pudding, moisture. Moist. I have a little saying, I am moist, therefore I am.
Well, dear Edna,
And I'm getting moister by the minute.
No.
I don't use a moisturiser because I'm naturally moist. A lot of people have said to me, Edna, people who know me intimately, they've said, Edna, you are so moist. And I have to say, Desmond O'Connor, that when the time comes in a dim, distant future when I am called, when I find the road too weary and the hill too steep to climb, when I drop off the twig, in short, don't get sad, it'll be a long time off yet, and I end up in one of those urns that you've got here. My epitaph, you know what an epitaph is, little thing they put on your tombstone, it'll say, here lies Dame Edna. She was so moist. And it's true. I am the hostess with the moistest.
And I'm lucky I'm so well preserved, Michael.
Well, this is true. And I was about to ask you about the secrets, the beauty secrets that you have.
Beauty secrets is simple. Few little wrinkles. You better write this down, Judi. I don't think those close-ups in the Lavender Ladies helped you either, better than Maggie, don't you think? Better than poor old Maggie. But I use it simple. People spend a fortune tightening their skin, getting rid of the wrinkles. Boots, Not much more than 30p. The hemorrhoid cream is what you need. Hemorrhoid cream, it's absolutely true. It tightens everything up, not just what it's meant to tighten up. And I splash it on that hemorrhoid cream at night. I do, and look at me, and you know, I made a joke, and you haven't got so many little crow's feet anymore.
No, the big one.
Tell me, no. Where exactly did you kiss Lauren Bacall? Think about it, Possums. Think about
it. I'd come out at university.
You what?
I'd come out as gay at university.
Yes?
We've sadly run out of time.
Oh, and you gave them far too long.
I did.
But don't miss Helen as the Queen, and these girls too. Give them your support. And they're lovely. They're lovely people, lovely and natural. And that brow, it's so smooth.
I can tell you where to go.
She can tell me where to go. I like you, Lenny. Thanks, Possums, and Michael Parkinson, too. And a lovely tie. Who gave...
Susanna invited me on the tie.
It's beautiful, and it's made in Italy. That's what it says.
My thanks to you, Dame Edna. Dame Edna, Everage, thank you very much indeed.